everybody.
Hello. We're still back here. It's still October 29th.
Welcome to the post-credit show. Look, our logo it's bigger now, so you can actually read post-credit shows.
No, I'm not just. It's not just the post show.
It's the post-credit show.
Well, thanks for joining us. If you came in here from our podcast earlier newscast, please. There wasn't much in there.
We talked a lot about horror movies.
Well, if you haven't realized, it's actually Halloween. If you don't celebrate it, then I don't know, whatever.
I go put my costume on.
Mine's home. No. Mine's at home.
Spandex Nick.
We might actually. we wouldn't get smacked with that, would we?
No,
it's just a costume. It's just wearing.
Just
it's like a wearing shirt. It's like a big shirt.
It's
like a big shirt. It's like a body shirt. Costume.
Either who, if you want to see us talking about the news, check out our newscast. If you want to know what we're playing, what we've been watching, you're on the right show.
You're right here. Thanks for joining us.
I'm Nick.
I'm Tony.
I just said I'm Tony. I'm Graham.
You can be if you want. You can be. I'm gonna have to test you on some stuff later.
I have to know a lot more about Pokemon before I can be telling you.
Which Pokemon?
Specifically, which ones? There's 5 answers. There's 5 possible answers.
So yeah, we're here to talk about what we've been playing, what we've been watching, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
who wants to go first?
Sure, I haven't done much.
Yeah.
I was watching The Flash last week. If you watched last week's post-credit show.
That was quick.
I was watching The Flash. Ha!
I say that.
And I reached with The Flash the part where Arrow came in for their crossover episode.
What was that? The guy with the lights and the different colored lights?
Yes.
Okay.
So I got to that episode
Spectrum,
and I went,
right?
Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, cool. But then, of course, the second part of it, essentially, is on Arrow. Mm-hmm. So, because you watched one part on Flash, you watched the next part on Arrow, so you gotta
both shows to get the whole.
It's like the DC or Marvel version for the DC universe.
Right. It's awesome because they actually connect really well together, and every once in a while they're just like, here's a character from this show, throw it onto this show. Mm. Then they talk about each other. They'll call for help, and it's like, oh, we need Felicity's help. Like, call her. So Flash, they'll call the Arrow's helper, going like, we need your help on this.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's funny. There's a scene in season. You're on season 1, right?
Of Flash. Yes.
Okay, yeah. There's a thing in season 2 where Cisco, this character in the Flash,
one of the signs,
the best character. In my opinion, he's the best character. There's a news bit where they're talking about Oliver Queen.
Oh yeah,
and it's like, oh, the Green Arrow, as he's calling himself in the newscast, or not newscast. In the news. In the news, they're like, the Green Arrow, blah, 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 in Starling City. And then Cisco's like, I hate it when they put the color in front of their name.
He's the guy that literally, like, every time there's a new bad guy who comes out, he's the one who's sitting there thinking up names to call the bad guy.
That's his thing. That's his shtick.
It would be us if we were existed in those universes. Like, what do we call them?
And he of course aptly names them after the comic book names.
Yes, he finally comes up with
that's awfully convenient.
Yeah, but he does it in the most comical way. It's that's my thing. None of you all. That's your guys' thing. My naming is my bit.
Yeah. But to watch, obviously, the Arrow crossover with the Flash on Arrow, I'm like, oh man, I gotta catch up with Arrow.
You don't
again.
Actually need. Wow.
But I have the opportunity to, so I might as well. So that's what I've been watching this last week is Arrow. I haven't caught up yet to the Flash episode.
You'll be quick.
But so far it's still in that point where, everybody's kind of...
Because you're on season 1 then, I presume, right?
No, I'm done. I finished season 1, so I started with partway through season 2.
Right.
So now I'm on to season 3.
Yeah, because Barry Allen gets introduced in season 2, right?
Barry Allen so that's where I started.
Yeah.
I started where Barry Allen is in Starling City helping them out as just Barry Allen. He's not the Flash yet.
Yeah, he doesn't have his powers. Right?
He's just an investigator, yeah.
He's a CSI guy.
He's a forensics person. That's his job, so that's how he shows up. And then at the end of that thing, he goes back to Central City, gets struck by lightning, and they continue to talk.
How he becomes Flash?
In the
in the TV show.
Okay.
Yep.
In the comics, it varies.
Yeah.
But the lightning storm was from Star Labs. They created it with essentially.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't just like I was struck by lightning.
No. There's a reason for it.
Okay.
And that's
okay.
They essentially were creating like the Hadron Collider.
Oh, okay.
In the middle of the city.
In the middle of a city, and it went wrong.
Yes.
And it created this big lightning storm, and anybody who kind of got stuck in the storm
got
superpowers. And he got struck.
Oh, and then you got you got villains get powers too. Then
and that's the whole premise of the Flash show is the Flash handles the metahumans.
Yeah.
Green Arrow handles normal humans.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Green Arrow's just regular bad guys.
Yeah.
Flash is superhuman people.
And so like the first episode of the Flash is him dealing with one of the first metahumans.
Yeah.
He was in a plane crash, but it was also in the middle of a storm and got hit by the Hadron Collider explosion, turned into Weatherman.
So you can control the weather. So, but either way, so yeah, with Arrow now, the only thing with Arrow...
Weather Wizard, sorry.
The only thing that's driving me nuts on Arrow is, like, they keep introducing people from the comics, which is cool. So, like, Black Canary comes in and she can kick a lot of butt. And obviously he can kick a lot of butt. And Speedy can kick a lot of butt. Not Speedy, the real Speedy, which is the red Arrow.
Yeah.
In the comics. But a guy with a red hood.
He's basically
he's Arrow, but he's not Green Arrow, he's like Red Arrow.
Yeah.
The bus line, Red Arrow. He'll get you from here to there. But
terrible.
Like, there's enough people that can kick a lot of butt.
Yeah.
Season 3 starts off with people that I don't think should be learning martial arts becoming expert martial artists. And it's like, why does everybody have to know some form of like kung fu or some fighting style on this show? Like, this is getting to the point of ridiculous.
You're going to be really disappointed in season 4.
I can only imagine.
Because season 4, or is that the newest one on the TV box?
I don't know.
Or
I think they're on season 5 now.
Okay, so season 5, you're going to be really disappointed with season 5.
I can only imagine. But like, and I get, like, because they bring in the League of Assassins and they bring in all that stuff, but it's like a person goes missing for 6 months and all of a sudden you show that character pretty much the beginning of the new season, and she now knows how to use a sword and how to fight, and all, like she has become a master.
This is Black Canary?
No,
or...
Black Canary.
I wish you could become a master.
Black Canary's.
Okay. Yeah, she's dead.
Yeah.
I wish you could learn how to actually do martial arts and the speed it takes them to learn in that show. Could you
Well,
imagine, I haven't seen you guys over the summer, but I'm a samurai now.
And that's the thing. Like, you're sitting there going, all right, she's been training.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden at the end of it, you get like this kickflip up with a sword and like to a guy's throat.
Yeah.
And she's sitting at the airport and like hot coffee spills on her hand and she's just like, oh, it's fine. And everybody's like, Oliver's sitting there looking, going, something's fishy.
Where did you go to summer camp?
Yeah. Where did you spend your 3 months?
You've been waitressing for 3 months. Like, something happened.
If you're a waitress for 3 months, I mean, enough scalding coffee spills in your hand.
But you sit there going, like, there's that suspension of disbelief where you couldn't have maybe taken it a little bit further.
I feel like they're playing because I never watched Arrow. Yeah. I haven't watched much.
Yes.
I watched Flash, and back of my mind is thinking that they're playing the long game.
Yes.
With it, because they just did their Flashpoint in the Flash.
Yes.
And it's come to light a lot of things that have changed in the show, and so the possibility of a new crossovers of maybe Barry going back in time, doing some other stuff in the Arrow episode in the past that's like, shh, don't tell anyone I'm here, and then he runs back into season 3 afterwards. It's like there's a lot of possibilities of that. And
so
they could write all that, and plus they have the other TV show Legends of Tomorrow.
Yes.
Which I've been pretty bad at keeping up with. I haven't started season 2 yet.
Yeah.
Just there's a lot of shows now. There's a lot of hero shows to watch.
There's a lot of hero shows to watch.
As I'm trying to follow you guys.
Oddly enough,
it sounds like there's a lot of hero shows.
Oddly enough, all of them pretty decent right now.
And all from DC, like
all
the DC ones are like
they're kicking butt. DC's kicking butt
on TV.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been watching Arrow, and for games I've been playing, Breath of Fire.
Oh yeah,
just came out on the new 3DS Virtual Console, so it's an old Super Nintendo RPG from SquareSoft and Capcom.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's an old series. It's
Breath of Fire 2 was amazing.
All of them.
Breath of Fire 1, playing through it, you start off, and the story's a little...
They don't age very well.
And Breath of Fire 2 does.
Does it, hey?
Yeah. Breath of Fire 1, it's like, our city's been attacked. You think you're the hero? Go show us that you're the hero. And so you go out and you fight monsters, but the place you heal is that first town. So you have to go to another town, go into a castle to rid it of evil, and the other town's not that far away.
Oh, okay.
But you go into it, and the first, I encountered Pillbug,
Yeah.
who's a bad guy.
Yeah.
And it's turn-based fighting, like all those old ones used to be. Well, you attack, and you kill one of them. Well, there's two more.
Yeah.
Their attack is called Poison. So they poison you.
Oh, dear God.
So you kill them, and if you kill them, you don't get the effects of poison.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't count as a move. So I'm like, that's fine. As soon as you're out, every time you take a step, 1 HP.
I was like...
But you only have 36 HP.
Oh, my God.
And there's no one in this town that can heal you.
Oh, my God.
And do you get potions or anything, or medicine?
I could have bought herbs.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm like, it's the first part of the game. I don't need herbs and antidotes. Like, come on now. This is... like, RPGs have taught me over the years that I should be able to make it at least to level 10 before I need to start using...
healing
items, because you're going to teach me how to play your game.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to get to the end of this, you're going to give me a super move, I'm going to feel good about myself, I'm going to learn magic.
I'm going to hold your hand!
But even the old RPGs used to do that. They slowly worked you into the game.
Now,
so. I died a bunch.
You weren't expecting,
now, I don't want to say like you're cheating or anything, but did you ever use the save states?
No.
Okay.
No,
or is there even save states?
There's save states.
Okay, so there's save states in this.
And I save with save states, just because I feel like they're more secure than saving with the little dragon statues.
Yeah, you can just save it anywhere.
Because those dragon statues are never alive.
Well, but you save it a dragon statue, and then you shut the game off, and if it loads from the save state point and not where you like had first exited, then you might find your... So I just, like, when I shut the game off, I save state.
Yeah. It's more of a... Because you can save everywhere.
You can save anywhere
with
with
save state.
So you just...
Okay.
And it
that's
saves
cool.
your progress wherever you are.
That gets a little clunky. It's weird. Like, there's 2 save points.
Yeah. So, but I have been using the save points, and when you die, they take gold away, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well,
standard.
Whatever, I'll level up, and I'll keep dying, essentially, until I'm at a high enough level where I can start at least breezing through some stuff. So I did. So that's how the first part of that game went, and that's where I just finished that part. Was essentially running through that dungeon, leveling up, and then finally going outside that town, going back to where I started, like that first town, fighting a bunch of guys there to get money.
So how grindy is it?
At the moment, very.
Classic JRPG.
But I made it grindy on myself. Once if you go into that dungeon with the pillbugs, if I would have taken another 15 steps forward, like I freaked out that I'm poisoned. So I went, like I hauled butt back.
Yeah.
If I would have gone forward, there's a healing fountain not that far ahead of you.
They should have,
And which I figured out, of course, after I had leveled up and became, like, walked through there like, Pillbug? Dead!
Kapow!
Yeah, got poisoned? It's okay. I saved up money and bought antidotes. Like, I went in all prepared, and then I walk that extra 15 steps, and after I use my antidote and my herbs to, like, heal up, and I'm like... Fountain, and then on the other side is another fountain. Like they keep giving you healing points, and
so
then they keep giving you.
There was no,
So they were walking me through it. I just encountered the pillbugs. Like
you just panicked.
Like 2 steps too early.
Yeah.
So what's the lesson of the day? Just keep going.
Just keep walking.
That's the lesson.
So that's what I've been playing. I went old school from up playing this week. So that's me. I've been boring this week because I've been at my job. You've
been doing a lot of stuff there.
From 7:30 in the morning to like 6 o'clock at night this last week. So
you've been doing a lot of stuff there. Well, that's a good segue because I've been doing something far flung into the future. I played the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare beta.
Ooh.
And by played, I mean I played about 10 minutes of it. Because
holy
crap, that game is... I don't understand how people play Call of Duty now, because I stepped in, I was like, it's a free beta, I'll step in, I'll just, I'll shoot some dudes, I'll get over with it.
Yeah.
I think I probably played maybe 45 minutes of it.
Oh, that's better than 10.
Better than 10 minutes, but it felt like I played 10 minutes. Because seriously, in the 45 minutes that I played, I think I got like 2 kills.
Oh my god.
That game has changed so far from what Call of Duty used to be. Like, I was like, oh man, I got my gun, I'm gonna shoot some dudes, and then all of a sudden, like, this guy, like, jumps out of the corner,
right,
and then turns into a robot, or, like, it's the mech suit, he turns into, like, a second form, and then, like, mauls me to death, and I'm like, how am I supposed to target you? Because, like, I was ready to aim at the a human-sized object, and then he goes shorter, and then dashes at me faster. Yeah. And I'm like, what's going on here?
Because I know, obviously it's called
right.
Yeah.
And then they introduced the whole wall running stuff.
Yeah.
Which is weird because apparently you can wall run on everything, and infinitely. Oh. Like infinite wall run.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
and then
you just
yeah. Okay, maybe not infinite. I think that you get a stamina meter or something like that.
But it's long enough that you didn't notice that you were.
I ran on it and then I got shot. And I feel
I ran on it and I got shot.
I played it on the PS4 because the beta was free then. And I feel like I don't want to sound elitist about this, but I've been playing a lot of Overwatch.
You have.
Oh, yeah. So
going from mouse and keyboard to a controller.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't hit you. My fingers isn't fast enough for this. What is going on here?
Problem of I'll be playing everything on Xbox, but I'll switch games. Like if I switch from I can't.
Infinite Warfare is so different now.
I'll be getting Battlefield 1 and Titanfall 2. I know I'm gonna have this problem of I want to play this one and then go okay, this is a weird transition.
Right. And
even if it's not a button change, sometimes even just the movement, the speed,
and I couldn't get any. I just couldn't get any leverage in any of the games I played, and it felt incredibly infuriating. And nothing I did worked. I couldn't, because before you could do the whole scope in and then it kind of snaps to a character. Well, everyone's moving so flippin' fast that it's almost moot.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, I got you. No.
And does the game still control like a Call of Duty game?
It doesn't even control like a Call of Duty anymore. It's so fast.
And that's because Brink, where you were doing all the wall running and jumping and that kind of stuff, they made sure you kind of had a little bit more.
Follow.
Yeah.
And because now everyone's got a jetpack.
Oh yeah, right.
And so it's you double jump and you go upwards a little bit. You can get a little bit of fight.
Get you to tell the difference.
We were gonna play a mini game with you on Titanfall 2 or Infinite Warfare. We're gonna take the pictures and crop out the logos, blur some of the pictures, some of the arm patches and stuff like that, and play a little game of Infinite Warfare or Battlefield or Titanfall 2. Yeah. Because I was looking at it, I'm like, I can't tell. And that's the thing, when I was playing the Warfare beta, I'm like, this seemed a lot like what I've seen the trailers for Titanfall 1 even.
See, and that's where I do appreciate, and I know we talked about this game last week, but Battlefield 1, at least they went in a different direction than everybody's going. Yeah. And I mean, they might take their own liberties with certain things, but at least it
sets them apart. It really does.
And it's even fresh from anything.
Honestly, if you put Infinite Warfare, Titanfall 2, and Battlefield 1 on the same table and tell me to play a game,
I'm picking that one.
Yeah, I'm taking Battlefield 1 hands down. Because at least it feels normal.
On that too.
Infinite Warfare. I mean, Titanfall's got its own thing going on. They've been doing that forever.
And
Respawn is they do fine on that. But it's the fact that again, Call of Duty is mimicking whatever is popular, the flavor of the year.
Yeah.
And that bothers me to no end because I don't want to play that. Not that I never wanted to play it in the first place. I don't want to play that there. And again, I didn't pay money for this. It was the free beta from last weekend. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's not on anymore. I promptly deleted it after the 45 minutes.
And see, my curiosity was with Call of Duty was, I'm still tempted to buy, because these bastards did it to us. I'm going to say I am buying Modern Warfare 2. No, for 1 HD.
Okay, so that's how that works.
And I'm getting Infinite Warfare for free.
I would gladly pay for Modern Warfare.
Oh yeah. They're
HD. Yeah. Oh my god, the screenshots and comparisons to that and the original one back in the 2000s. Oh, it looks good,
amazing.
And it was the one, and they got all the multiplayer stuff in there. And
I'm basically boycotting Infinite Warfare until
they just release the
until they're bankrupt enough to go. Okay, we'll give it to you.
I will
by itself.
I'll pay.
Here, take it. Give us money, some money at least, anything.
I'll give them the full $50 for a Modern Warfare remaster.
Sure, and a lot of people would.
Yeah.
A lot of people are. They're just.
I just paid full price for Skyrim remastered.
Yeah, but Skyrim
and it wasn't even. It didn't even need. It didn't need it.
Yeah,
right.
But you wanted to play it on your console, right?
Well, that's just it. Yeah, so, I wanted the.
Well, because the Steam version, you don't get the upgrade unless you have the game and all the DLC.
Yeah.
So if I wanted the remastered edition of Skyrim,
I wonder if I've got that.
I needed to spend another $30.
Yeah.
And for me, I wasn't a huge I know you love Skyrim.
Yeah. Oh, and I remember you telling me how much of it you played. I
get into it, and then I get out of it. So I'm and I looked at the pictures, and I mean, it's gorgeous.
What do you want me to do, Steam?
Verify yourself.
Whatever. I'm here. Oh yeah, you mentioned that there was a Halloween sale.
Yes, there is.
Fine.
Either way, like
that marketing team is off the rockers.
Oh yeah,
for Infinite Warfare.
Yeah.
Literally, I imagine them like they're it's an ISIS hostage video.
Yeah.
Here's HD of Modern Warfare. Buy the
shitty
shit.
game.
But that's the thing. Like, do you know your game is that bad that you're
and that's
with...
why I was curious if Tony liked it, because I'm like, I actually feel like Infinite Warfare is worse because of it. Because it does feel like a hostage situation.
Yeah,
it
like
does not.
You don't feel confident enough in Infinite to sell by itself.
It played like every other generic shooter, but with jetpacks and infinite wall running and just overpowered supers. It didn't feel fun.
Yeah,
like most other first-person shooters out there. Like at least Titanfall.
So you have the special edition in your library.
Okay, I bought it for like $10 when Steam sale.
It probably sold. It was probably Steam sale. With all
Yes.
But for me with Skyrim, it was another $30 to get the HD fancy upgrade, like the special one, and I'm like.
And so does this like include the HD texture pack, or is it just straight?
It's its own HD texture pack. It's
really?
Yes, it is like beautiful.
Oh yeah,
excellent.
And that's my thing where I'm like, I'm not going to play it enough to spend $30.
Well, you can probably just mod it yourself and make it look just
the HD texture pack looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
This looks 10 times more gorgeous.
Oh really?
Yes. So in my mind, I'm like, So I did. I sat there and I went. I still have a couple days to like upgrade my bundle to make sure.
That you can't get this anymore.
I believe you can.
You can't get the.
But to guarantee you got it on day one, you had to have them on the 28th to make sure your account. Yes.
Wow, that's so weird.
So I'm like, I'll wait.
Yeah.
Can I run it on my home computer? I wonder.
Knowing Steam, it'll
only recommended, please. I should be able to do it.
Hell, even knowing Steam, it'll be
nope.
like
I can't
Christmas
do it.
Sale, it'll be at least discounted something. Not going to be amazing. But
my computer doesn't meet the recommended. I only have a 560. It hits the minimum. Who wants to play Skyrim on minimum?
I got the pretty version of the game.
If you wanted to play Skyrim on minimum, just go play Morrowind.
Whoa!
No, computer's not that bad. I might have cut a little low there.
Dem's fighting words. Dem's fighting words.
Oblivion, then. We'll do Oblivion.
Oblivion HD remaster.
Oblivion on. I remember though, we put Oblivion on medium. Oh, that looked worse than Morrowind because there's the draw distance. It's like I could see like 5 feet in front of me, and then there's void behind it. Like we messed with it once, and we're like, oh, this can go low.
How low can you go with our Morrowind?
So you've been playing Infinite Warfare.
I played it. To say that I played it, and then I think I promptly got back into Overwatch and had an infinitely better amount of time.
Way to use the same.
Gotcha! Overwatch is so much fun. Go buy it. Still a Halloween update. I think I'm one Halloween skin short.
Oh well.
From all of them, and most of them I just opened from random loot boxes that I got from the leveling up system.
Yep.
I was in a really good party last night, and we had a whole lot of fun.
Isn't it nice? And then you stick together because you know that, like...
that's the best.
Oh, it's the best.
Those are the best.
And it's like, this guy's like, oh, I'm only going to be Sumatra. But the thing is, he knew how to play Sumatra. So it's like, okay, we're playing defense. I wonder what I'm going to be tonight. No, it was a good team effort. Every time we got into a match, we rolled everyone.
Yeah, those always feel good when you get into a group like that.
Yeah.
It's like, even as me being
I didn't have
the lower end of that team, it's like, I feel like I'm contributing!
And the thing is, like, I didn't have a mic on because it was a little bit louder around me, but they had their mics on, so I could type.
You could at least listen.
At least listen. I was typing, and they were like, oh yeah, totally, yeah, no, blah, 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 this thing.
Tony can follow, I'm good, like, keep talking.
Well, it's funny, because it's like, the one match, I think it was the Greek map, it's a 5-on-5 team, right? So, and I was playing Mercy. My ult is up, and I don't know if you know what Mercy's ult does. It basically reses everyone around you.
Oh, okay.
And when you play, and when you have her ult ready, it shows you a little icon in the corner. It's like, you've got this many teammates down. Oh, and I'm running in there. I'm like, why does that say 4? Cool. And then, like, in 5 seconds, we rolled the team. We won the match. And I was like, that was the most satisfying feeling I've ever played with this character. And everyone's like, yeah, we need to we're grouping up. we have some symmetry.
Yeah, we've got some like
you can do the healing stuff. This guy's got the good tank stuff going on, and so Overwatch. You get those moments where it's like everyone knows their role.
They're on the ball.
Everyone knows their role. We know what we're good at. Like I'm pretty good at Bastion sometimes, so.
Well, I mean, I've had that feeling with World of Warcraft, where you enter a dungeon as a random group, and you run through it so well, and everybody's just like,
everyone just. It's
what just happened?
It's like clockwork. It's like this should have been more difficult.
And then you get someone, and being DPS, they're like as soon as a tank or a healer goes like another one, because they get instantly in, and if there's 5 of you, you instantly get into the dungeon. So it's like yes. And you just keep you do 6 dungeons at the time. It normally takes you to do 2, and you're just like
you're just rolling through all the teams.
Guys, I'm adding you all to my list of people.
Oh yeah, I added those guys instantly.
Yeah.
So we were all random. We didn't know each other.
No, and those are always.
And that was almost
because I've rolled when I've known people.
Yeah.
Warcraft 3, I had people that I went to school with. We would make plans at school.
Oh, and then go home.
And then go home and execute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're just like, yes.
But even when I had a bunch of roommates, we'd play like Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah.
We'd have a couple of randoms but we'd have 4 people, so there'd only be one random.
Yeah.
And you could tell he was like, "What's going on here?
Like, why is everybody so organized?"
Because you can see each other. It's like, these 4 people are in a group.
Yeah.
And
or not even a group, but all of a sudden everybody's just moving at the right pace at the right time. It's like, how is everybody so in sync? Meanwhile, in a room with 4 computers or people.
Yeah. So that was really good. And the Halloween update for Pokemon Go is currently live.
Oh yeah, I've been exploiting the crap out of
that. Good man. And so if you're not familiar, this should be up by the time you can still take advantage of it until November 1st.
Yep.
You get double the candies for all catches. You get double the candies for all transfers, and double the candies for something else. For hatches. For hatching.
Yeah.
So that goes double
and then
for...
Get quarter of the walk time for buddies.
Yes. And so if the Magikarp you need to walk 1 kilometer for a candy, you only need to walk 0.25 kilometers for a candy. And so you want to take this opportunity to walk with buddies or walk with Pokemon you don't normally find in your current area.
And that's the best. I was just going to say, right now you can catch Gengars and Ghastlies.
Yes. And that's another thing. They've increased the spawn rate of a lot of spooky Pokemon.
Yeah.
So that includes the Gengar line,
Cubone
line, Meowth, Zubat, Golbat, and Drowsy, and Hypno. Yeah. And Drowsy and Hypno is not anything too special here.
It depends on your area, though.
Yeah. It really does. And I've heard people say, I've never seen a single Drowsy. This event is awesome.
Right.
And it's like, good for you. Me and my 500 Drowsy candies begs to differ, but that's, whatever. So I think I'm up to 500 Ghastly candy. I'm just waiting for the time to be evolve into a ton of Gengars.
Yeah, because I was struggling to get my Ghastly to a Haunter because I love Haunter. Right. And then now in this event, I'm like, okay, I'm on my 2nd Gengar.
And the thing is, I think the day I booted the update.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, now there's a Gengar nearby. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Walk 5 steps. It's right there.
Oh, yeah, and I just about caught a Gengar right out the gate. And I'm like, oh, this is intense.
Right? So the best way to exploit this event is to find as many 10k eggs as you can, because 10k eggs offer the most amount of candies without a bonus.
Oh.
And so the other day, I hatched one of my 10k eggs. It was an Omnite, and I was like, cool. Normally, I got 20 candies from it. Oh, I got 50 candies from it. Oh, yeah. And so one hatch got me enough to get an Omastar.
Oh, that's cool.
One hatch.
Yeah.
And so, same thing. If you've got a Snorlax, put it as your buddy. How often do you actually find Snorlaxes in the wild? Or hatch a Snorlax for that matter?
Got one!
Shut up.
I got Porygon once. That was cool.
Yeah. Porygon. Here.
I haven't played Pokemon Go in a month.
Though I am afraid after this
it's gonna feel
my collapse.
It's gonna my only concern is after November 1st, people are gonna be hitting a withdrawal of there's no more anything.
And that's
because it got so easy, and then I was back to that grind that I was starting to get sick of.
Well, I'm okay with that grind because
I do so much walking that
I was going to say you walk anyways.
Yeah. So I'm like, I just keep playing because
you walk, and so
the only thing I'm actually getting sick of is I do spend a little too much money on incubators because I walk so much.
You need to. You almost have to. You honestly have
to. So
and the way I see it is, since the game has been out, I've paid about $60 for incubators, but it's like that's since the game came out.
Too. Yeah,
that's since the game came out, and so I don't even feel bad about that because it's like, oh, one paycheck, here's $13,
and the other thing too is the game was free, and I'm spending $80 on a game anyways.
Yeah,
and I do not put that much.
And the thing is, you're not spending $80 in one go.
Oh yeah,
it's spread across. You can spend maybe like a couple $100s, but that's going to be like a year. Or so, right?
See, and again, that's where I go back to that DC Universe Online thing, where you're spending $4 every 2 weeks. You're still making or $4 every week just to unlock stuff. It's like, I don't feel like I'm spending that much money, but you guys are actually making a butt ton off of me.
Oh yeah, same
for
way
a
Heroes
free game.
Yeah, Heroes of the Storm was the same way for me, where it's like I don't think I want to know how much I actually put into or World of Tanks.
But at least with like Pokemon Go, they're encouraging people to actually go out there and do stuff and walk around.
Right.
Just the other day, I think I spent from 5 until 9 walking around downtown, just walking up and down the blocks.
Yeah.
Catching ghosts, hatching eggs.
Right.
I'm level 12, guys.
21.
I don't want to talk about my level. I'm 28.
Oh.
28.
Oh, so you're not that far from me.
That's cute. You need from 19 to 20. Yeah. I think you need 25,000 experience.
Oh, there's huge XP jumps. I got you.
From 20 to 21, it's 50.
Holy cow!
And then from 21 to 22, I think it's like 100,000.
Oh, okay, so they go. Yeah, it's like it gets insanely hard.
Yes.
Okay.
So
the green on Pokemon Go's catch screen is the same as our green screen. So.
Oh, is it really?
So it goes invisible.
Yeah. Either way, I just caught a Meowth.
Right. Spooky. I don't know what I think the only logical conclusion is that, Black Cat, there's a cat.
Yeah.
And that's as Black Cat as you get with these Pokemon.
There's only one cat.
Have cats.
There's only one cat in the generation generation 1, so it's like
sure.
Bye, Meowth.
Yeah, basically.
I already have one.
So other than that, again, I'm still really trying to muscle through Xenoblade Chronicles because
are you at that point now?
Did you talk about that last time?
Huh?
Yeah. Are you? Yeah, you did. Are you at that point now where you're just like,
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm still like I'm going through because I think I'm over leveled for where I am.
Yeah.
So everything's kind of trivial. I just
need to get.
I just need to go through it. I just need to go through it because come November 18th.
Oh yeah, look at that.
You can see the road, but not the grass.
Sweet magic. It's like magic.
It is like magic.
So until once November 17th hits.
Yep.
Yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles is going by.
Everything's going by. I can catch them all
again.
How can I transfer my Squirtle?
So that's all I got going on, or did. I've watched a few shows here and there. I've watched Supergirl, but that's all on Netflix. So if you want to catch up on it, it's all there for season 1. Because
I was thinking about watching it, but I'm like,
that's my biggest piece.
Oh yeah.
Now between Crave and Netflix, I can watch all the IDC shows and catch up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy catching up.
And so the CW must have done some sort of agreement with Netflix because season 2 is now on air and you can watch season 2.
Oh.
But season 1's all on Netflix. Yeah. And I think I'm up to episode 10-ish or whatever. They're about to do the Flash crossover for the Supergirl.
Right.
And that was a pretty good crossover in my mind because I'm pretty sure Grant Gustin said, "Yeah, sure, I'll go on the Supergirl show. I know Melissa. We can do something."
They were on Glee together.
Oh yeah.
I don't think they were actually on Glee together.
Not at the same time.
Not at the same time.
But they were like, I'm good with Melissa. We're cool. Yeah. We did the thing, and they have confirmed in season 2 of Supergirl and season 3 of Flash they are going to do a karaoke episode together.
I was always wondering that because I'm like,
I've been waiting for Gus just to break into.
He does
decent singers.
He does.
How
do
are
that
you
in
going
Flash.
But how do you make that make sense?
He does a little karaoke bit in the Flash.
Oh, okay.
Where one of his friends is super drunk, and then the other one and it's him, and he's like, "You need to sing," and she's trying to sing
in a world where bad guys can make you do almost anything, musical episodes.
I want a villain who forces heroes to go.
okay, Buffy,
to break into song.
But that's how they did in Buffy. They all woke up.
They had a demon.
There was a demon that was making everybody sing.
Oh, that's
so none of them knew what was going on. They're just, every time they needed to explain something, started singing, and even the songs are like, why are we singing?
Yeah, that was a really meta episode.
Like, what's going on?
Oh, it's great.
And so, and
This
at
has
the
to
end,
happen.
it used to be a demon who was
Yeah.
killing people
Yeah.
by making them
by
dance.
making them sing and dance. So they would dance until they
Yeah.
it's like
Exploded.
ignited. And like the
You can
episodes,
only get rid of that stuff in a 90s TV show, honestly.
but like musical episodes of shows, even Scrubs,
Yeah.
a woman came in with a brain injury. You saw everybody through her, so they
so
only
she
sang when she
perceived-
was around.
Yeah.
So they have like songs where everything
Yeah.
comes down to poo, and they're singing about like, you know, we can find out what's wrong with you,
Yeah.
but you got to give us a, you know, stool sample
sample,
essentially, right?
Yeah.
But they turn it into a song.
Yeah.
So the whole episode, and then finally at
Yeah.
the end, like she goes through surgery and comes out, and everybody's like, well, like, do you hear us singing anymore, kind of thing? And no, everything is fixed, and you're like, cool. But that's how they worked
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Yeah,
Worked-
TV shows have a
worked
lot of
it in.
flexibility with that
Yeah.
kind of stuff, especially with the superhero stuff.
And the superhero stuff's super easy because you can
Yeah.
create a bad guy that just
Yeah,
makes them sing.
He was in a DJ booth and then he got struck by
lightning.
I don't. They just introduced Mirror Master into into the Flash, and
Yeah.
I don't.
Who's that?
The Mirror Master. He's a sort of a B-list hero who is on the Rogue Gallery, I believe.
Yeah.
He's one of the main villains for the Flash.
Oh, okay.
And he uses
Yeah.
his ability is to basically use mirrors as a teleportation device or any reflective surface. But they made him into a metahuman,
Oh yeah.
so not in the comics. He just has this gun.
Oh, he just has a device.
That
do it.
but
Oh, okay.
they made him into
It's like a portal gun.
Yeah, but they made him into a metahuman, and it's like, okay, I guess.
I got to the Suicide Squad of Arrow episode of Arrow.
Yeah,
So Deadshot. And
Harley Quinn. No, they don't they name drop her, but they don't. Actually,
not where I'm at now. Apparently later on they do, but in this episode they're letting everybody out of their cages, and Diggle, so one of the guys, and his ex-wife, who still get along, but they're talking about, he's like, you want me to take criminals out into the field? Like, what's wrong with you? Sort of thing. And they explain it as, obviously, if something goes wrong, they can just kill these guys.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're like okay with the fact that they're doing this? And she's like, it's my job. And they're kind of bickering back and forth, and they go to an over-the-shoulder shot of someone still in their cell who's got the blonde hair and the voice from the actual, they get the lady from the cartoons
Oh.
to do the voiceover, and it's like, you know, I'm a therapist and I can help you, sort of thing. And that was it, and you go,
Damn it.
and then they put a veto on her for apparently
The movie.
she was supposed to come back, and they were actually supposed to have Harley in the show, but then they announced the movie and they're like, nope. And you
Yeah.
go,
They're doing so much better in the TV shows. Oh my god, that movie was bad.
and I mean, Deadshot in the TV show is whatever.
Not Will Smith.
Not that Will Smith was amazing as Deadshot, but the guy in the show kind of, he just shows up and he's good at shooting. Like, there's no character to
Oh,
him.
there's no, yeah.
So you're just like,
Hey, I'm a good sniper.
yeah, and he's got the
Sign
little, he
me
puts
up.
the gadget on his eye
Oh, yeah.
that helps him, and he's got a little wrist thing that he do.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Yeah.
got that going on for
Yeah.
him, but so either way, yes,
yeah,
they do some cool stuff with, you know,
Hmm.
Arrow goes closer to trying to bridge the movies.
Oh, yeah.
and
not bridge them, but actually like steal characters that are actually. And then Supergirl all of a sudden was just like, we have Superman.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like-
that kind of caught me off guard. They're just like, screw you, we're just
I'm
grabbing
really
him and
hoping that
popping him in.
Superman doesn't overstay his welcome in the show.
No, but
Because it's still Supergirl.
Yeah,
to
it's
go
all
on him
the
to-
big
yeah.
story is her being her own hero.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that was her big thing in the season
Yeah.
1 is we haven't cast Superman, but we're going to write it off as she needs to be her own thing.
Yeah.
Not because here's Superman
But
to help her out.
I do, and that gives me hope with Arrow that if they can have Harley in Arrow, she is technically a Batman villain.
Mm-hmm.
So is Ra's al Ghul. Like, if they can bring those kind of people in, we're only a couple steps away from them being able to be like, there is a Batman, especially now with
Oh, yeah.
Superman.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much Gotham actually owns on rights.
It's all Fox, I think.
Oh.
I don't know. Like, that's what I want to know now is how
Well, now
much.
we have,
Yeah.
and not to mention, now we have to deal with Sci-Fi Channel too.
Yes.
Was this on Sci-Fi?
Sci-Fi Channel got the rights to make a Krypton prequel before Krypton explodes.
Oh, that's cool.
No.
No. Oh.
No.
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 If it's good enough, the CW will get it back.
That's the only thing. My thought
that's
process.
what you're
I
guys'
feel
issue
like
is.
that's I feel like that's
yeah.
the way that CW's just like testing shows out now. They're just like,
It's this bad.
we'll let you have this, and it's like, it was bad. Sci-Fi screwed up our show, and then it's like, it was really good. We'll take that.
Hey, we're gonna write it better.
And then all of a sudden create an even better show out of it.
Apparently Supergirl season 2 is really
Leaps
good.
and bounds better.
Oh yeah, that's what I've been. They've been apparently season 2 since they moved over to CW.
Yeah,
it's been real good.
Because that's my thing with like the fact that they're bringing in all these.
Like
they're
underrated.
They are very
they
underrated.
Seem to be like,
in all honesty,
not mess anything up.
CW, which is Warner Brothers, has always been a very underrated channel. Even when it hasn't been superhero shows, like when it was Gossip Girl and this and that.
Yeah, like even
they had really good shows on there, even if they weren't my kind of show.
Like look at Supernatural, right?
Sure, but like
they picked CW.
CW is where Buffy started. Like that's Buffy started on the WB, which was CW. Is now CW. Yeah. Angel started there. Supernatural started there. Gilmore Girls started there. Like all of these weird shows that everybody falls in love with from the 90s has some connection back to Warner Brothers in some way, shape, or form, and you go, huh.
They're hiring someone properly. And
somewhere.
And they're doing the job.
And even like, I've noticed the cast is in all of the shows.
Oh, yeah.
So they keep their actor pool strong.
Well, because they film in, most of their shows are in Vancouver, so they're all...
Yeah. Yeah, they're all there. Right.
You want to be on our show today? Sure. And it's funny when you notice. And everybody's like, we'll take you.
Yeah.
Dibs. We need you for a day.
Just a half a day.
Because the guy who played Death on Supernatural obviously took a trip to Alberta because he was on Heartland as like a creepy farmer next door. And I'm like, I'm watching that and I'm like, and it was the Halloween episode of Heartland.
Oh, yeah.
So there was like, his something spooking his horses. So it's a haunted barn, but he's the one that comes out, and I'm like, why is Death on this show?
I'd be afraid too.
And I'm like, I'd be worried too, clearly.
The embodiment of Death just walked out of the barn.
Do you guys know what Death does in the show? No, he's just a farmer.
Yeah, and he's just, he's a farmer who's a little off his rocker.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know what's wrong with my horses, but something's creeping them out at night. I need someone to take care. So they have to spend a night in the barn because that's how they watch the horses. It is very, like, they're not just vets, obviously. They train horses. So it's like, something's freaking them out. We'll sleep in the barn, and we'll figure out what's going on. And then, yes, there's creepy noises, and he keeps a bunch of stuff upstairs. And, and you go, and it turns out to be nothing because it's a drama show.
Oh, yeah, because
it's obviously not like...
They're not going to, like, obviously blindside you with Supernatural.
Yeah, all of a sudden Dean and Sam show up in the car.
It's a crossover. Like, we found him!
Everybody get out!
We found Death! He's been hiding in the middle of Alberta.
He became... Death
Where did you guys come from?
Alberta farmer. Boy.
Yeah. So that's all I've been watching. Supergirl, all the TV shows for DC. Basically it. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to really go into that.
Yeah.
Any opportunity to give Ghost Rider a flaming chain, even though it's not the right Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider to have a chain, yeah.
Sure, whatever. It's Ghost Rider. It's name recognition.
What have you been up to?
Quite a list.
Graham, go.
Well, we'll start with last Sunday. Season premiere of Walking Dead.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that happened.
Traumatizing audiences as Graham is cheering. I kind of ruined it for my roommates.
But that happened once, though. My understanding is that happened.
They did it... Okay, though I had... Oh, spoilers alert if you haven't seen it.
But
I'm sure the internet's ruined it for you at this point, even if you haven't.
Post-credit show, it's supposed to be spoilery.
They almost fucked it up. Well, they almost fucked it up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then... Because, like, okay, I'll
he takes out two guys, right?
Yes.
Was that the...
Which, the funny thing is, though, I'll just explain it. So, first of all, the annoying part is, classic Walking Dead, they got 25 minutes into the episode before showing who they killed.
Really?
They managed to pad it out somehow.
I feel like that should have opened with that.
Right? Face, and then he drags him off and does like a little spiel, like, okay, you're, and then he kind of does a test, like, okay, I'm gonna make sure you're loyal to me by doing this test.
Does something like kicking him out of an RV?
And then he's laying on the top of I kicked him out of an RV and said, go get my axe, and he fights a bunch of zombies, and he crawls up onto the RV, and he's laying there crying, and then he does so they do a flashback of the execution. I nearly.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the most. I hate that
Right.
storytelling trope.
Yeah.
In TVs, it's like
Yeah.
3 hours earlier.
I'm gonna flash back to 25 minutes ago. When
3 hours earlier. 3 hours.
Guys, we need a flashback. Why did nothing change?
Close your eyes.
Flashpoint.
Because that's what happened on Community,
Yeah.
where Abed kept trying to flash back because he thought it would actually change stuff.
Oh.
So he wasn't flashing back to real things.
Oh.
In his mind, he was like, "I'll just go back to this time in my life and change
feel
something."
better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we went into his mind. And
He just went into his mind and changed
Yeah.
things, and
Yeah.
then came back, and it was like, "Oh no!"
So and then I nearly stormed out of the room because they did kill 2 people, but the first person they killed was the character
Your scapegoat.
Their scapegoat. The character
So-
they should have killed a few episodes before, but didn't.
No,
I thought,
this was
oh
Glenn.
crap! They saved. They killed a red shirt
Yeah.
to make a new red shirt for the execution. And I'm like, literally, you screamed at the TV and was about to get up. And I'm like, oh, just see what happens. And then they had, like, Daryl punch Negan in the face. And he's like, that's not going to fly. I'm going to punish you by killing the guy who's killed in the comic.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Okay, so
okay, I am happy now.
Okay, so that was right then.
So that was, yes.
And I looked it up online because I
did too.
needed to know.
I
so.
watched that bit too.
So I was satisfied.
I figured I'm like, Graham will be. He's not gonna be like over the moon happy
Yeah.
because I know who he wants to die.
Who does?
Yes.
Yeah.
Daryl.
Because I wanted
You want Daryl.
I wanted them to stick to formula and not stick to story.
So
Stick to the formula of
biggest
killing.
impact would have been kill Daryl.
Yeah. But then and then at the end they took Daryl hostage.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, okay, they're still going to hang that over everyone then. They're still going to be that tension then.
Yeah.
Like he could still possibly die.
Yeah.
Now there was a lot of complaint online that I was reading where people
Yeah.
were complaining about the brutality of the episode.
Which
have you read the comics?
pissed me off to the extreme.
They
because
almost
I'm
they
like,
did it shot for shot almost.
oh yeah, yeah. I'm like,
But that was like people
people
online,
were mad. It got gruesome, but I'm like, I've been complaining since season 3 that the writers are little crybabies who pussy out and won't do it proper.
Now, Walking Dead is on. It's
ABC or not AMC.
AMC.
AMC. Yeah.
So it's not like it's on a. It's not like
So
it's
there's-
on ABC
No.
and they're
Yeah.
trying to like.
And
And I mean,
hide
they still keep. There's no nudity and no swearing,
Yeah.
so they still keep it lower key. But of course, when it comes to gore, though, it's
a
no holds
zom-
barred. It's a zombie thing.
it's
right?
a zombie thing. It's post-apocalyptic. People aren't people no more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's what the biggest complaint was: is you can do whatever you want to a zombie,
Yeah.
but he's killing actual people in the most brutal fashion
Well,
possible. and
they
you're
did
showing it.
the zombie kill effects on a person
Yeah.
instead of zombies.
So I think that, and
which
people have the
drove
weirdest.
me nuts because I'm
People are
like,
too sensitive.
you've been
online.
caving in zombies' head left, right, and center, but now it's a person. But the zombie's still a person.
But that's how you get-
usually the issue with zombies.
Yes.
is people are like, well, even like in the first few seasons of it, the one character, what the issue, the thing they discussed across season 2 was, are these still people? Like they
Right.
took that philosophical approach, and now they're just like,
Well, we decided no, so
no.
It's just easier to do this, and we can do more human
Yeah.
stuff later.
because that's the biggest thing with like Suicide Squad. That's how you get a lower rating. Instead of having these mass murdering people murder people,
They're
you
murdering bad guys.
not bad guys,
Not even
not
humans.
even bad guys.
Well,
they are
they're-
transformed humans into some other form
Oh,
of
they're
being.
like
But they're still
Yes.
human.
Essentially.
They're still humanoid.
Oh,
They're
okay,
humanoid in look,
So it's kind
but
of
they have
kind of
been-
like zombies. then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
It is no different. It
Yeah.
is no different.
But that's how you get a rating down, is by not killing people, and you're sitting there going, they still look like a human. You shoot them, and like
the
they die.
ratings are completely imbalanced right now.
Yes,
Anyways.
and that's what pisses
Yeah.
me off, is you get that where it's like we've been caving people's heads in, or humanoid heads
Yeah.
in forever. We finally do it to a human to elicit
Yeah.
emotion.
And that's and it was meant for the shock factor
Right.
too, and that's why I was so satisfied when everyone's like up in arms on the internet. I'm like, this is what was supposed to happen.
They done it right.
Yeah, like didn't.
That's why like me getting excited kind of ruined the tone for other people watching it with me.
Graham's like, that was amazing.
That was
Everybody's like,
perfect. Yeah.
I don't want to.
everybody's huddled under a blanket together.
I
like,
literally feel dirty when I'm reading the comic books, and I have to take breaks because
Isn't
it's
it? It's
traumatizing at times.
yeah.
So when we're watching the show, and it's like they
did it right.
I need to feel traumatized in order for.
And finally, everybody else is feeling traumatized, and Graham's just like,
"Yay! You're hipster traumatized. You're a trauma hipster.
I'm a trauma hipster. I was feeling trauma from Walking Dead before all the
issue 100.
All the other kids.
Issue 100 happened way before this episode, guys.
And then what else did I watch? I finally watched that 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Oh,
I've watched.
Did you see it?
Oh yeah, I saw it.
It's actually really good.
It was passable.
Yeah,
it was passable.
Funny enough,
John Goodman was the best part of that movie.
Oh, absolutely.
I love John Goodman.
He stole the crap out of that one.
Yep.
They could have even kept out the alien shit and just made it.
Yeah, I'm disappointed.
Spoiler alert, but like they build it up as if he's just crazy, which is
he is crazy.
He is crazy. But they built that up so well that you're like, tension. You could have kept out the aliens.
Yeah, they could have. It could have been just her opening the door and then just walking out.
Yeah, right.
And then like, what else is there in the world?
Right.
I feel like the Dan Trachtenberg like kind of caved in a little bit.
But then her battling in spaceship,
and,
you're like,
it's like
the tone.
The network must have been like, we need more action in this. The guy's like, we just had her climb out of fire. What else do you want her to do?
Fight a spaceship.
No.
And jumping over acid and fire and
you know
that was intense.
And it is his first directorial movie.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm sure
you gotta listen to what the overlords tell you a little bit.
And so I've been following this,
and I wasn't even too upset once there was like alien monster running around because that tension was still there. It just got too like it just went up. Kept going, right?
And I mean, there's a little bit of suspension of disbelief. It's like, hey, I built my own hazmat suit from a shower curtain.
Right.
You can too.
And even like when they built up that scene,
it's easy enough to do at home.
Even when they built up the scene of her taking it off and the air was okay, you're like,
it's like
it destroyed that disbelief that she built a hazmat suit because she didn't actually need it. And you're like, oh, okay, I can see why she.
So she didn't actually build a hazmat. She could have been breathing bad air that.
Oh yeah, she could have been breathing bad, right? Like that's where I'm like, okay, that it destroyed that disbelief because.
Okay, so
it was useless.
So other than the alien stuff, great movie. Right?
When John Goodman
was,
I still love it.
And I've been following Dan's work ever since the 2000s.
John Goodman should be in more.
Oh my God, he needs
criminal, like even a criminal, like be a cameo in Criminal Minds and just be that character.
I feel like he's
again.
too expensive for that.
He'd be too expensive for that. But like even if it was something as small as that, though, right? Like
he did Community. Let's face it.
Oh, yeah.
Criminal Minds is not above John Goodman.
Hell, even like Mark Hamill was actually a villain.
He does weird stuff.
Yeah,
Mark Hamill. Yeah,
he was a villain in a couple of episodes.
But Mark Hamill at this point in his career, I think, just someone sends him a good script and he's like,
sure,
cool.
It's funny because you haven't watched the Up to the Flash with the Trickster yet.
No, which is
and
Mark
so
Hamill.
the fun tidbit about the Flash TV show with Mark Hamill. He plays the Trickster in the early '90s Flash show.
Oh.
And so they actually wrote him back in. And no, it gets better. It gets better. It gets better. They write him in as like, I was an old trickster. This is a new trickster running around in Central City, but you need my help. I will help you find him. But I'm the old trickster. And so they let him out. They're doing stuff with him. And I'm pretty sure they're like, Mark Hamill, just be the Joker. Because every time you see him on the show right now, it's like he's talking in the Joker voice.
Yeah,
I can't.
And you're like,
this is really eerie to me.
For a long time, because it's funny. There's a Wolverine game for the GameCube. So it was a solo, like, the X-Men movies came out, and they're like, well, we can't make an X-Men game because that's too much programming. But we have to do a tie-in game somehow, so we'll do a Wolverine game. Mark Hamill is the voice of Wolverine, and you're like, whoa, he's a good voice actor.
Yeah.
Recently, though, like even Darksiders, where he plays your, like, you know, that Overlord shadow guy that kind of follows you around. Yeah, you're sitting there, and I'm like, why is the Joker following me everywhere? Like, I think Mark Hamill kind of got into we need something kind of creepy and a little, and he just starts doing Joker, and you're just like,
every time,
all right, I guess that's not wrong.
Yeah,
and
no one's gonna be like,
could you
he's in
bring back the Joker?
And it's funny because
dial it back.
And there was not set photos, but episodes from the upcoming episodes of The Flash with the Trickster character with Mark Hamill because he's still alive in the show. But funny enough, he's got white makeup and a little bit of a smile. And I'm like,
It's like, how close can we get to the Joker?
What are you guys doing?
We're not
Is this just the
doing-
Joker?
Yeah.
Maybe that's how they.
And that's the thing. That's like the whole Flashpoint incident from season 3 changed a lot of stuff around the universe. So it's like
So
maybe
you
they're
could-
writing. Maybe they're writing him actually in as the Joker.
That would be so freaking cool. I think I have to watch the show.
As the entire time, I'm like,
Yeah.
what's going on? Flashpoint.
No one will watch a different show. Mark Hamill actually becomes the Joker, and they that's your promo is like him like turning around with like
a white face, red smile,
and everybody goes,
oh shit,
and he does the laugh like that's
Oh,
it.
if he laughs,
I
just got goosebumps right now.
He does that already in the show.
Oh, okay.
That's
But, like, with the-
with the makeup.
You just
right?
show him with the makeup, and like it goes to black, and all you hear is him doing that laugh. Everybody will be like, I don't care what else is on TV tonight. Like
I need to watch
presidential vote. I don't care.
I've already
Like
voted.
Alien Overlords.
I haven't watched any of The Flash. I'm just gonna start here.
Alien
Really,
Overlords
season
coming
three,
to
you
take
could
over.
start.
Yeah.
Alien Overlords coming to take over our planet? Nope.
Yep,
Like breaking news, CNN. No.
Breaking news: Mark Hamill is the Joker. Is the Joker now in the Flash show?
And then there's just Jared Leto. Like, oh.
Yeah,
He's
screw
cool.
you.
There's like that sad Affleck meme that's out there. They're just like sad Leto.
Well, then I watched the first half of the live-action Titanfall movie.
Oh yeah.
There's
No,
a Titanfall movie.
he didn't watch the second half, so that tells you how good that one was.
I didn't watch.
There's a Titanfall
Yeah.
movie.
The only thing I'll suggest is they do a really cool job with the Titans.
The
So
special
go on the
effects.
internet and watch clips.
Of the Titans
Titans.
fighting.
Special
Do they
effects.
fight? Like, do you see them like?
No, like just like the Titans eating people and like
Oh.
attacking.
Oh,
people.
Attack on Titan.
What did I say?
Titanfall.
Titanfall.
Fuck, I said Titanfall.
That's
Sorry.
why I was like,
Attack
there's
on
a,
Titan.
there's a Titanfall movie?
Sorry. Attack on
That's
Titan.
why I'm like robots. Neat.
Yeah,
Attack on
fights.
Titan.
Okay, yes.
The live action movie.
Okay, context
Yeah.
made.
We're back.
Sorry.
Context
Sorry,
made.
everybody. That was confusing.
That's why we have him and keeps us fresh on our toes.
So yeah, Attack on
Yeah,
Titan.
I heard the movie, the special effects were good, but
Special
everything
effects good.
else was...
Everything else was awful.
poop.
And I'm not even going to finish watching the movie. I might
I'm
just
not
out of
even-
curiosity or leave it on in the background.
I'm not even going to even think about it.
Yeah.
It's like thinking about the season 2.
Oh, I don't know. I'm still kind of.
It's the season 2 that they've been teasing for about 2-3 years now.
Right.
Three,
Jesus.
yeah.
So yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So that's what I've watched.
Yeah.
Played.
Video games?
Played. I did a little bit of the Halloween stuff on Rocket League. If you've played Rocket League,
I've played
there's not
Rocket-
much
yeah.
to say about Rocket
It's
League. other
Rocket
than
League,
I
yeah.
got some antennas and hats and
Did you... Yeah.
jet trails
Yep.
that are Halloweeny.
Yep. Yeah.
Curse you, Team Fortress 2.
It started all of it.
Oh yeah.
Guys, how can we make money? Hats.
Hats. Give us all your money.
And it's not even hats. It's character customization. I don't think companies realize when you give me the opportunity to customize whatever it is in my game, like
Yeah.
my thing,
Mm-hmm.
how much more buy-in you have out of me.
Oh yeah.
Especially,
right,
and
yeah.
then you can tease pieces like, oh, you want to dress your guy up like a cowboy? You can get a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
It's available. All you got to do is keep playing, and eventually you'll get it. And it's like,
The worst
Oh yeah.
ones
It's
are
the grind, right?
yeah,
the worst ones are the seasonal ones.
yes.
Because I feel I'm kicking myself every day for not playing during the Summer Games Overwatch event.
Oh.
Because there's one McCree skin that I really, really want. They replace his cape with the American flag, and I'm like, that is the dumbest, most patriotic thing you could ever
Yeah.
do. I want it.
I'm even thinking about like while Overwatch is happening with Halloween, I'm like,
Oh, yeah,
I
it's-
don't want to look at any of those skins and be like, I kind of wish I had
Oh,
played
yeah.
it, right?
Well, and what gets me like with World of Warcraft's Halloween stuff is it's only seasonal. So you can get a mount that's actually a broomstick, like
Oh yeah,
broom, and you
Oh,
can fly around.
yeah.
Yeah, once Halloween is done,
Yeah, that's
it goes away.
That's
Yeah.
I don't like that.
But you sit there
Yeah.
going, and then you can even get like the headless horseman,
Yeah.
like a pumpkin for a head
Yeah.
as a thing, and you go with all the
So that's why I never did the
transmogrify
Destiny
system.
ones.
Yeah,
Because all the Destiny ones,
Oh, those seasonal?
once
Super seasonal?
Halloween's over, you can't use any of the Halloween stuff.
And so that's the thing with Overwatch.
Yeah.
After Halloween's over,
you can keep using it.
Yeah.
So
Keep using
eventually,
it, yeah.
after a year and
Yeah.
some of Overwatch,
Yeah.
with
Those
them to
skin-
keep adding stuff, you know, you'll have mixed groups of teams on a regular, like
Yeah.
when there's no seasonal thing going on.
like
Yeah, someone who's still
Aren't you-
wearing Halloween
Halloween
costumes.
like
stuff,
my-
someone's wearing an Easter bunny costume.
Yeah,
someone's
my Reaper's gonna have a pumpkin head.
Like, and let's
Yeah,
face
even
it,
Team
come
Fortress
Christmas,
2,
we're gonna
I
get
think
Santa
Team
Claus.
Fortress
and,
2, I
yeah.
kept a lot of my Halloween stuff permanently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And,
yeah, World of Warcraft, and especially with the transmog system now, like you can actually dress up however you want now, essentially.
Yeah.
everybody's like, I have made a wizard who would look wicked
with a
broomstick.
Yeah.
Like he
but
looks.
you can't.
My character looks amazing riding a broomstick. Like I've got the robes and the black hat and like all the stuff.
Yeah.
Can I please just for the rest of it?
Yeah.
And Blizzard's just like, no. And you're like,
It is weird, and it's a Blizzard game because Overwatch they'll let you do it.
Blizzard or Overwatch, I think they're a little bit more lenient because there's no story. Yeah. Whereas World of Warcraft, they still don't want people ruining
whatever the world is,
the world in and of itself. Yeah. So they hold back because it's like you don't want to go into a raid with a person dressed like.
I think Destiny probably does that too because like you don't want someone like going into like we're gonna go kill the Taken King, but somebody's wearing a pumpkin head.
I want to do it wearing a Santa hat.
Right? Yeah.
Merry Christmas, bitches.
Well, and
you've been a naughty boy. That's all I can think of during Christmas in Overwatch. But I want a hat.
Yeah.
So
but that's where like I sit there with World of Warcraft and I go, but in the old games you used to have like orcs running around with pretty much a loincloth on who could kick, a demon, punch a demon in the face and the demon's dead.
Yeah.
But
in the game I can't like put a Santa Claus hat. Like this is above us now.
I think Final Fantasy does that too, where especially in 11 where you could pick up the Santa outfit but you can't wear it.
Oh.
In for the 11 and 14 that happens too.
And you can like during Christmas you can transmogrify yourself. Like there's a system where everyone can look like an elf. So you turn into a gnome with the green costume and a green Santa hat and you can run your dungeons.
Yeah.
So during Christmas, you can have like a whole fleet of little gnomes like destroying stuff. But after that, no.
Go back.
And like my dwarf has the hat and I have a Santa suit.
Yeah.
Can't wear it.
Yeah, see
I'm really looking forward to Christmas stuff.
And that's what I mean. Christmas stuff on Overwatch, like
it's gonna be
obviously
cool.
My
so
dwarf guy with the big white beard already.
Torbjorn.
Like I'll wear that all year.
Yeah, you know that's happening for his skin.
Yeah. I will play that game at Christmas just to get that. So when I do hop in later in the year, it'll be like still Santa Claus.
Yep. Well, meanwhile, I'm the Jack-o'-lantern Reaper.
But that's what's really cool about that is all of a sudden you have
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Seasonal.
But you have all this mixed stuff running around, and in my opinion, it makes it so much more cool.
Oh yeah, and especially since like those things are like it's limited time offers. Yeah. Once you have it, it's like it's
like a bag.
I had Halloween 2016.
I had to work to get this.
I played the crap out of it.
I paid them $20 for these for these boxes. I opened them fair and square.
And going back to
anything else?
Yes.
Attack on Titanfall 2.
Attack on Titanfall Part 2.
I played it Thursday night because I'm like, I have to get into the multiplayer right out the gate, or people are going to
outshine you.
Outshine me.
Okay, so is it one of those?
Which they already were. So I'm like, well,
is it one of those? Was it one of those games where it's like you can play it on the Friday, but normal people play it on Tuesday? It
feels like it because I got in 15 minutes after I could get in.
Yeah, launch.
And I'm like, how the hell do you already have that? Screw you guys.
A lot of it is like press people too, right? So think about it.
Noob
And I definitely had that feeling of like you kind of explained earlier with Infinite Warfare, where I'm like, oh, this is fast and
it's fast and furious.
Fast, and I'm like, and things, and you need to like, the learning curve was just like, okay, what does everything do now?
Yeah, like there's buttons on my controller that I didn't know.
I'm like, okay,
like,
how does
I feel like I shouldn't be running anymore, but I did that all the time in Modern Warfare.
Or as you said too, like you walk around a corner and you're facing a guy, he does something weird, and you're like, what's going on? I just need to process
Z-move!
Yeah, like in Pokemon, it's fine, but
don't
do that to me in Modern Warfare.
Yeah, you're right. The shooter! Leave me alone!
Give me an opportunity to shoot my dude.
I actually played, majority of what I played that night was player versus, they have a mode called Pilot versus Pilot. They keep out the Titans. I'm like, I have to play this first.
Just to get used to.
I just need to get used to what I can do as a person before I get into my Titan. And the other thing too is like the first game was really easy with the Titans because there's the light one, a heavy one, and a medium one. And then you can just swap out all the equipment on it. But this game, there's 5 Titans, and each Titan is very specifically doing its one thing. So I'm like, okay.
It's got Mech Warrior.
So I'm like, shit, which Titan do I pick?
Yeah.
And then I found out later on the Titan that I like, I had to wait till unlock first. So
I'm like, that's the worst.
The only Titan that was my play style was like at least he was one of the first to unlock, but I'm like, okay, that sucked at first because I'm like, I don't like any of these Titans so far, but okay, I got my close combat Titan now, so I feel comfortable, and I got used to because like literally there's a moment where this little robot jumps around the corner. And I'm like, I'm freaking out because I'm like, I don't know what that does. Just shoot it. I found out it's a mine, so me shooting it was like probably the worst thing I should have done. But I'm like, come on, don't just like throw things at me and go. Learn what it does, quick.
There's no proper tutorial.
And then the other thing too was,
it feels like
I didn't. Well, I was. My biggest curiosity was, should I play the campaign
to teach you
because
about
would the
things
campaign
first.
act as a tutorial for multiplayer? So now I'm like, okay, maybe I'll.
But they actually put a full-fledged single-player into this time around. Like, that was an actual story.
Right?
Although the last time around, it was just like, go in your mechs and fight.
Yeah, there's a cutscene and a dialogue during the loading screen.
But does single-player actually teach you anything?
I haven't touched it yet, so...
Because that was my problem with StarCraft 2 when it first came out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, okay, before I go online, I know there's a whole bunch of new units.
Yeah,
I'm going to see what they do
yeah.
before I hop online. So I'm playing single player, and I'm like, perfect. I know what my units pretty much do. I'm good to go. Hop online, and they take out like a third of the units.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but my whole plan relied on me making like medics to count do this and do this and do this. And there's no medics. Like my entire plan is now, and I'm in a game going like Marines.
Well, it was and they kind of changed. Well, they haven't added units to multiplayer, but when it comes to StarCraft 2, the co-op mode has fleshed that out a little bit more. So like, because like it got worse from like, I don't know if you played.
I stopped because
like Heart of the Swarm was like, not only is there a whole bunch of units, but each unit has an evolution path.
What?
So each unit can evolve like. Could be a different, so like you can be like, now I want to be like, if I take the green evolution with the Zerglings, I think they gave birth to they could jump over walls, and if you choose the purple path, it gives birth to 3 instead of 2.
So you go numbers over.
So and all of a sudden, but if you hop back over to this multiplayer, like, the Zergling can barely do anything,
right?
On top of the fact that I lost half my like rouster, right? Like, yeah.
So that's why I was wondering, like, does Titanfall actually teach you anything, or does it just be?
I need to touch. My plan is to get into the single player next.
I hear it's pretty decent.
But that does bug me about multiplayer when they don't have
proper tutorials
or stuff unlocked.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like, especially when it comes to options, like if this is the weapon you prefer, and you don't get it yet, then what do I do till then?
And that's where it's like multiplayer, honestly, if you're going to have unlocks, have it so you have the basic of everything.
And see, they had
and the more you play of something, then you start upgrading.
Because what they have for Titanfall, they did it kind of interesting, though. They have it where you unlock things for free as you level up, but you can use the in-game currency to skip ahead and buy something.
So speed it up a little bit.
To speed it up a little bit. Or if you want one thing specific, like I could have bought that Titan that I specifically wanted before I unlocked it. So at least there's kind of like that angle where like, if I'm just going to play as a sniper, I don't want to wait. And so I'll just, wait until the sniper rifle comes at this level. Well, I can just, go straight for those guns, right? So they kind of worked around it that a little bit.
But all in all, it's an alright online shooter, other than being like overwhelmed with new mechanics.
Yeah, it was a little overwhelming, but once I got about 4 hours in, like I only played 4 hours of it so far, but once I got that 4 hours in, I basically stopped and I'm like, okay, I feel comfortable enough with my Titan and my loadouts, because the loadouts are super customizable, right? So you have to...
It's just PC, or is it on PC? Or is it Xbox and PS4 only?
PS4 only, I think.
Oh, that's a disappointment. Because there was a PC release for Titanfall,
I think
wasn't
so. But I think it was like after the Xbox One release.
It was, but it wasn't too much. It's Respawn, so it'll be on Steam then, if it's going to be anywhere. I was like, is it a Microsoft game only? No. This time around, no, it's everything. Titanfall. See, I can buy the first Titanfall for $12. Or $2. Wait, what the heck? That's a movie?
The final app?
The final app? You are right. There is a movie. Oh, it's a documentary.
Okay. I'm like, what?
You weren't not right.
Origin. It's on Origin.
Ah, right. EA.
Right.
No, screw that then.
That's why I never got it.
Yeah.
So it is on PC.
Yep.
But not PC. Not a good PC. Sale.
I can boot up Origin.
That's not.
Oh, I just got rid of
You closed your Windows.
That's fine.
And then the last thing I played
yeah.
was 7 hours straight of Skyrim last night.
I saw the picture.
We hooked him.
Which, okay, this might sound bad though, but I didn't notice the graphics.
Now, is it just by proxy of it being on an Xbox One now?
No, I think the thing is, it's been.
He's got nostalgia glasses on.
Or no, it's been 5 years since I last played it, and I thought it looked really good then. So maybe I still think it looks
pretty
in my brain. It remembers it being like that for some reason.
Nostalgia glasses.
So that nostalgia glasses is like, I don't notice the difference. But if I went back and played the last one and go, oh, it actually used to look like shit.
Yes, you would.
Now I'm like, oh, okay, that's why it looks.
Does it run full 60 or is it?
I think so.
Wow,
yeah.
that's bold.
It's gorgeous. Like
and the thing I think I noticed the most is lighting. I'm like playing with my shadow and I'm like, oh. Or like the lighting off the trees, and I'm like,
I think lighting does a huge difference.
Oh yeah,
lighting is a huge difference. So that's.
And see, it's subtle. It's so subtle that.
See,
and that's
the mod was their HD mod, right?
Yeah.
We're looking for those who aren't listening. We're looking at screenshot comparisons between Skyrim, the vanilla version, and then with the HD mod, and then the special edition.
Yeah, so my nostalgia glasses remembers it looking like remaster, and then now I'm looking at vanilla, I go, oh, okay, yeah, that
does look like poop.
And when you see it in motion,
it's not like poop either, right? Like it's not even that bad.
No, Skyrim was never that bad. But...
So when you
yeah, there we go. Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
Maximize it. There we go.
Yeah, and see, once you look at it like that, you're like, oh, okay.
So I feel like the mod looks a little bit cleaner, though.
Only because it's added, but like they've added the right kind of textures. These guys were just like, increase the amount of grass. These guys were like, we're going to increase different different kinds of grass.
So what happens if I boot up? Because I have this copy at home on my home PC with the mod installed. But now that it says that I have special edition,
I don't
know how that works.
Does it just delete my old one, or do I have two separate copies now, or? See, I like the mod one better. Maybe
And the water looks really good,
and
too.
the water's all been redone. Like, the physics are all rebuilt. Like, it's...
They actually went back.
Yes, they went back into
and water
this
looks
game
way better, because water was just like, water flows all in one direction, no matter which way the river's flowing.
That was one of the first mods I put on my Skyrim.
But then, like, now it's like, okay, water actually flows the direction it's supposed to be going. It's like, okay, that looks good, right? Like...
Yeah.
I'd have to take a look at it when I get home.
That's what I mean, and watch the videos, because the videos tell a much different story of, like...
And then the videos, the side-by-side, you kind of... I actually kind of wish Skyrim had the thing that Halo
did, where you pressed a button
and it switched.
I feel like that would break the game.
Oh, yeah, I think so, too.
Because that was cool in Halo, and you see people playing it, and they're like, one, now.
Yeah.
Original, now.
And especially
especially
when people came downstairs and were watching me play it, and I'm like, oh, this is the new Halo. And it's like, oh, that's really good.
Not really.
And then they're like, but I don't really remember what it used to look like. And I'm like, oh, here. And then they're like, oh, yeah, that's
bad.
That's a stark change. And I think
so again, I haven't seen the comparison trailer. We'll probably take a look at it after this.
Yeah.
Would you compare it to the Halo remastered?
That kind of jump?
Yeah.
No.
Because I feel like that jump was bigger.
That jump is huge.
That was huge.
Right?
Then,
like, the last time I played Skyrim, I don't think I played it on the PS3. I only played it on the PC. And as soon as I downloaded it, I put it in the mods.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing, too, is if you've played it on PC with mods, you've already played it, basically.
Yeah.
I haven't played all of it, but I played...
But like, you played it with the graphics, right? Like, yeah.
You've played it with some pretty substantial graphic boost that you wouldn't normally,
Yeah.
So, like, for me, would there be any benefit to going back into it?
It's hard for me.
Why is that picture water and water? Is that the you guys are talking about the trailer?
Yes.
About, like, water and then the new water. All right.
And for me, like, I put in 200 hours and got all the achievements. So for me to jump back in, I'm like, I get to do achievements again. It looks pretty. So
yeah.
Right. And also, the other thing I kind of noted was, as the DLC, even for a replay, as the DLCs came out, I'd like finish the game by the time each DLC came out. Well, the first DLC, you could start it at level 8. Well, all the equipment you got from that first DLC was useless. So I'm like, now I'm starting a playthrough again. I'm like, oh, I could actually like play the DLC as I go, and I could actually use all the things as I go. So it does feel like a different experience for me too.
And that's fun.
Yeah.
So in the fact that I can redo all the achievements and
you get a second line.
Looks pretty.
That's what I thought.
It's worth it for me at least.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it.
And I know a lot of other friends who really love Skyrim and are like, I don't need to.
Well, of all the HD remasters, this seems like one of the best ones too.
Well, and they spent time on it. Like when you actually watch the trailers, and they're saying like, yes, look at the water. Mm-hmm. Like we have gone back and changed the water.
Right.
And that sounds like a really insignificant thing, but when it comes to a Bethesda game,
right?
When they change something,
yeah,
that's insignificant. That affects everything else in the game. That's huge.
Yeah,
and
because something could have easily broken.
Right. Yeah. Well, dragons could be flying backwards again. I just haven't gotten that far.
they might be windsurfing.
Yeah.
They're all just Pikachus running around now.
Sold.
Yeah.
How did that happen? I don't know. One of the mods got in.
One of the mods somehow like.
I'm gonna replace the. Is there a mod to replace Skyrim or the dragons with like Dragonites?
Yep.
Oh yeah. I'm sure they're all there.
And
that's the biggest thing I haven't explored yet. Is I haven't touched. I haven't even touched mods yet in Fallout 4, but. It's just a whole... Cause that's the crazy thing about Bethesda games. I haven't touched mods yet in Fallout 4, because after 150 hours, I haven't run out of things to do yet. Or I think I'm at 180 hours, yeah. So I haven't run out of things to do yet, touch mods.
I need to install a Dragonite mod for the dragons in Skyrim.
And ironically enough, I still haven't played Battlefield 1 yet. Which is actually not a bad thing, because I guess for...
Now you have something to look forward to.
Lots of games.
And then we still are releasing a video at some point about that.
Yep. Once I get some more stuff done on that one.
Yeah. Ouch.
Pokemon textures in Skyrim. Excellent.
So either way, anything else? Anything new we've been...
I feel like we've covered everything.
All right. So with that, everybody, thanks for watching the post-credit show.
That has been us here at Barrel Roll News.
I'm Nick.
I'm still Tony.
He's Graham. Check us out on all the social medias. Not Snapchat or Instagram. So that leaves Twitter and Facebook and Vine. Google Plus.
We should make a Vine just as it's dead.
A dying Vine. And
we've got a website.
We do.
Go check us out. www.barrelrollnews.com.
We also want your money. And you can give it to us by going to...
time.
Patreon.com/BrNN.
There we go. No.
And don't ask. Oh, no! It's a thing. Stop. Don't go. Please don't go.
No. Close it. Oh, God. Oh, God. Thank you.
Don't go there.
See you next week. We'll be here still.
Patreon.com/BrNN, just like he finished saying. Go there. It's that easy. Thank you for watching, everybody. Bye.